Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you a full playthrough of Parks with my Ranger Ron Automa deck. This is Ranger Ron 2.0, so if you liked my original solo variant, just called Ranger Ron, this ups the difficulty. Has an Automa deck with this one, a 12-card Automa deck, as well as it's compatible with the Nightfall expansion. I would just like to say thank you to Keymaster Games for sending me a copy of Nightfall so that I could further develop my solo variant, because I know a lot of y'all really enjoy it. Some of you weren't big fans of the Beat Your High Score mode that came with the original game, and this just allows you to replicate a multiplayer experience, because I love playing Parks multiplayer, and so this replicating that experience, especially during these times, is I think it could be a great asset. So with that said, if you have not watched, I would go ahead and look at my YouTube channel to see how to play this game. I have a how to play video. I will be covering the rules as we go and walking us through it, but I'm not going to be explaining them all up front like I did in the how to play video. With that said, hopefully I don't make too many rules goofs. It's always tricky when you're filming. Lastly, I am playing on the medium difficulty, so Ranger Ron is going to start with the camera and the first player marker. I'm playing with the expansion. I have all the park cards shuffled in. I've gone ahead and given myself a year card. I get 1 point per every 2 forest on parks. In my canteen card, I can change out 2 resources for 2 other resources, but they can't be wild resources. Per the rulebook, or the suggestion in the rulebook, both me and Ranger Ron are going to start with a wild resource that comes with the Nightfall. That rule comes in with the Nightfall expansion as well. I've also given Ranger Ron a year card. I have not looked at it, so I don't know what it is. But he's going to score at the end of the game based off of that, and there could be a chance that he might get more of those during the game. Just we'll have to see what comes up with the Automa deck. All right, that's enough talking. Let's get to it. All right, so Ranger Ron is first player. So we are simply going to flip over the top card of his deck, and he's going to move his front hiker 2 spaces. So let's do that first. So both of his hikers are at the same location. So front and back, that's what this card will reference, the front or back. Front hiker would be the hiker furthest along the trail. But they're both at the same location, so it really doesn't matter who we move. So we're going to move his hiker 2 spaces, 1, 2. And then, since he is at a campsite or has a tent, he's going to look at this middle section. It's going to say, hey, remove that tent from the trail, place it on this player board. That's what this little square references. So it's now blocked, so I can't go there. And he gets 1 photo from the supply, and we'll add that to his photo album, and he will gain that. He'll get victory points at the end of the game, just like you would in a multiplayer game. Because he took the campsite action, he will leave this weather token on the trail, just as you would in a multiplayer game. The last part of the card says if he's at the trail end, he's going to gain the highest park card, but he's not, so we'll simply discard this, and now it is our turn. So I'd really like to go for this Yosemite National Park here. It takes 3 forests and 2 waters, and it's worth 4 victory points, and it works well with my year in-game goal. So I'm going to move my hiker to the forest. I'm going to gain a forest token. I will add that to my supply. And just one other thing, for this season, we have a season of snow. Gain 1 water if you gain any mountain on a turn. So that's just another important thing to remember. Okay, so my turn's done. Ranger Ron will go. His front hiker will move 1, and he will gain a wild resource. So his front hiker will move 1. Whenever he lands on a place with a weather token, he will discard it, unless, of course, he took the tent action, the campsite action. So he will discard this. He never collects those, which is a change from Ranger Ron 1.0. Just trying to make it a little less fiddly. So he removes that from the game, and he collects one wild resource, and he's going to score points for these at the end of the game. He is not on a campsite action, so we don't need to worry about that, and he is not at the end of the trail. I really want to go here, and I'd love to be able to take that tint and place it there to get 3 resources, but I can't. If I take the campsite action, I can't take the trail location action. So we're going to go here, and I'll take this weather token, and then I'm going to trade in up to 2 resources, so I'll trade in that sun for another forest. Automa's going to go. He will move his back hiker 1. He will take the camera if he does not already have it, and he will gain a photo. So his back hiker will move 1, and he has the camera, so he'll keep it, and he will take another photo. He is not at a campsite, and he's not at the trail end. You know what? I think I'm going to move my hiker here, and I'm going to take the water as well as the 2 from the ocean. I'm not taking the campsite action. Back to the automa. The front one is going to move 3. So 1, 2, 3. There should have been a resource on there. My apologies. And then since he is on a campsite, he's going to do this action. So he's going to take this off the board. He's not going to discard this weather token since he's actually taking the campsite action. And he wants to put it on this campsite board. Well, there's already one here. So what do? I'm glad this came up in this example. This is like, think of this as like a circle. If it can't go here, it will go here. If it can't go here, it will go there. Can't go there, it will go there. If it can't go there, it will move up here. So it can't go here, so it will simply block this action. And then it will collect the highest gear card available. So we have a 2, a 2, and a 2. In case of a tie, such as this, it's going to take the leftmost gear card. So it's going to take that, it's going to add it to its player area, and then it's going to draw a new one. Lastly, if it was at the trail end, it would go to the reserve park spot and gain the first player icon, but it's not at the trail end, so now it's back to me. So I think I'm going to go here. I'm going to gain a sun, a mountain, and because of the weather, the season of snow, gain 1 water if you gain any mountain on a turn. So I will go ahead and gain a water, and I'm going to use it on my canteen to trade in the sun and this mountain for 2 more forests. Hopefully he moves his back hiker so that I can go visit a park and grab this one before he does. Ranger Ron is going to move his back hiker 2 spots, and he's going to get a wild resource. So this is his back hiker, 1, 2. Simply grab a wild and place it on his player mat. He's not at a campsite, and he's not at the trail end, so we will ignore that. I will go ahead and visit a park, and I'm going to spend 1, 2, 3 forests and 2 water to gain Yosemite National Park for 4 victory points. We will refill. Ranger Ron will now go. His front hiker will move 3, and then he will be at the trail end, so he will take the rightmost park card showing. So frontmost is going to go 3. It's at the trail end, so it will go to visit a park and take the rightmost showing, which is 3 points for Ranger Ron. We'll just flip that over and put it on his player board. Just have to remember that. We will refill. Let's go ahead and go to the forest and get a forest. And then Ranger Ron will go. And his back hiker, well, at this point, this now represents the front and the back since he is the only one left on the trail. So his back hiker will move 2. And that is the end of his turn. I will go ahead and move here to this campsite and then take this and go to this option. It says that I can trade in a forest for a picture. I'm going to trade in both forests, and I can do that up to 2 times, it says. And I'm going to get 2 pictures. And I believe you could do that without not having the camera. I apologize if that is incorrect, but I didn't see it in the rules. So I just traded in 2 forests by going to the campsite to get 2 pictures. Ranger Ron will go. The back hiker will move 2. If he doesn't have the camera, he'll take it, and he will take another photo. So he will move 2. He will get a photo. And then let's see where he moved to. He moved to the Take Park location, and he gets the middle park. So he went down here, and he gets this 4-pointer. We will refill. And now, since both of his hikers are at the trail end, I immediately have to go to the end of the trail. And I think I will just go ahead to reserve a park. I will grab the first player token so that I can go first next turn. And which one do I want to reserve? I think I will reserve this Katmai National Park. I need a forest, a sun, and 2 tokens of any kind. I could also spend a wild to count as both of those. And then if I do that, I get an immediate park action. We will refill. All right, so now it is the end of the season. Ranger Ron, even though he has the camera, does not take a picture. He only takes pictures when he's instructed to from his automa cards. So we will go ahead and shuffle his automa deck to get it ready for the next season. And then everything else is the same refreshment as you would in a multiplayer game. So I will go ahead and do that real quick. I'll cut that out so that you only see us ready to begin the next round. All right, so we are ready to begin season number 2 of 4. I've reshuffled his deck. I have laid out the new trail with the new trail spot, which is, let's see what the new one we got. Oh, we got the river, which means when we go there, we can spend a water to copy a place that has another hiker. I've put the new weather tokens on the trail. Additionally, we have a season of rain. Add a weather token on the 3 current parks. So I've done that here. I've also flipped over our 3 tiles, or the ones needing to be flipped over. And I think we are now ready to begin season number 2. So I'm going to go to the valley and get a water and 2 suns. Now it is the autumn's turn. The back hiker is going to move 1 and take a picture with the camera. So they're both at the same location, so it doesn't really matter which one you move. So we'll move 1 and it will take a photo with the camera. Ranger Ron is very good with his photography skills, I'll tell you that. So my strategy is I want to go for this Great Basin National Park, but I want to have enough resources for when I complete this that I can take that immediate park action and get that one at the same time. So I'm going to go here to the lodge, and I'm not going to gain the weather token because I'm going to use the campsite action. I'm going to go to that campsite, which says trade in a sun for a wild, and I can do that up to 3 times. So I will trade in my 2 sun for 2 wilds. That'll give me some flexibility. Ranger Ron is going to move his front hiker 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. And Ranger Ron will never land on a space with you. If he were, just like this situation, he would move to the next one. And since there's no campsite there action, we will go ahead and just discard this weather token. I will move my back hiker 1 to the mountain. Ranger Ron will move his back hiker 2 spots. So he'll move 1, 2. And so then he'll reference his card since he's on a campsite. and say, oh, there's no campsite action, so he's actually taking the trail location. So you just simply discard this weather token, and that is the end of his turn. I will go ahead and move here to the valley to gain 2 more resources. It's a little risky, because even with a 1 or a 2, his back hiker might move all the way up here. But his front hiker is actually going to move 3. 1, 2, 3, so that's going to put him at the trail end, and he's going to take the rightmost park card. So he'll go to visit a park. Thankfully, he did not take the one we wanted. Once again, he never collects weather tokens, so this one that was on here just simply goes back to the supply, and he collects this without having to trade in resources or any of the instant actions. For my turn, I'm going to move my front hiker to the ocean that has a campsite, but I'm not going to take that action. I'm going to take this weather token as well as 2 water. And one of the waters I'm going to spend to trade in 2 resources for 2 other resources, but it can't be wild. So I will trade in 2 water for 1 forest and 1 mountain. All right, the automa is going to move the back hiker 3. 1, 2, 3. And he's not at the trail end, not at a campsite, so that's all he'll do. I will go ahead and visit a park with my front hiker. And I'm going to visit the park that I reserved. So it's going to cost a forest, a sun, and 2 of any resource. So I'm going to spend a forest, a sun, and a wild to count as the 2. So I will now gain this 2 victory points, and then I get an immediate parks action. So then I'm going to spend 2 mountain and a wild to claim this Great Basin National Park with 2 mountain and the wild taking over the forest spot. And then I also gained a water because it was a weather token on the parks card. And we have the Gateway Arch National Park. The automa will go, and he will move the back hiker 2 and take a wild resource. So 1, 2. He will discard this weather token and take a wild. Go ahead and place that there. And he's not on a campsite. He's not at the trail end, so we will simply move on to my turn. All right, so we know that he's going to the trail end. Is there any way I could get another park this turn? No, but maybe I want to save up for this 4 or maybe this 3. That will help with my season goal. You know, let's double down. Let's just continue to go for the ones with forest on them, because there's a good chance that he's going to be getting the highest, which is this 4.1 anyway. So let's go here and gain the sun, and I can trade in 2 resources for 2 other resources. I'm going to trade in these 2 waters for 2 forests. Now it is the automa's turn. He will move the back hiker 1 and gain another wild resource. Go ahead and give him his resource. He will move 1. That puts him at the trail end. So he wants the leftmost park card, which happens to be the highest one. So he will take the weather token off, and he will claim this 4-pointer. And now I have to go to the trail end. I will go ahead and say visit a park, and I will get this 3-pointer. I will trade in 2 forests and a wild to count as the mountain. And I will gain that to my player area. Ranger Ron's the end of the season. I'll make sure we refill this. It is the end of the season. Ranger Ron still has a camera, so he will not take a photo, and I can't take a photo. So I will go ahead and get ready for season number 3, and I'll see you there. All right, it's time for season 3. I'm still the first player. I've gone ahead and refreshed everything. For this season, we have a season of Splendor. We add a Sunshine on the 3 current parks, which I've already done. I've shuffled the Ranger Ron automa deck, so we are ready to go. First thing I'm going to do is move to this wildlife location. I'm going to trade in a resource for a wild. And that will be the end of my turn. We'll go to Ranger Ron. The back hiker will move 1, and he will take a picture. He would move 1, but I'm already there, so he will move to the next spot. He will take a picture, add it to his photo album. And then, since he's on a spot with a tint, he's going to take a campsite action. He's going to place the campsite, the tint, on the leftmost campsite, and then he's going to gain another year card. So he'll take the tint, he'll place it right here on the leftmost slot, and he will gain a year card and add it to his player mat. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to spin my campfire to go there with the ranger, and then I'm going to gain a water and a mountain, and I'm going to spin that water to trade these two into a forest and a water. So now I have enough for this Kobuk Valley National Park. It's only worth 2, but it helps with my year, my year, end of game year card. All right, Ranger Ron. The front hiker is going to move 3. 1, 2, 3. He'll simply discard this weather token, and that will be it for him. I'm going to move here, and I'm going to pick up this sun, and then I'm going to spend a water to copy the valley, which there's a hiker at. So I'm going to get 2 sun out of that. Ranger Ron is going to move his front hiker 2. So 1, 2. He'll simply discard the weather token, and that'll be the end of his turn. I will move to this spot. I will gain the water. I will forego the, well, you know what? I'm going to keep the water now. I'm going to take this campsite and go to this player board. Yeah, so when I take this action, I get to take 2 year cards, pick one, and then discard the other one. So I get 1 point at the end of the game for every wild resource in my supply, and 1 point at the end of the game for every instant park in my supply. So right now I have 1 instant, just 1. But this would give me 2, and I don't think I'll be saving a lot of wild resources. So I'm going to keep the one with the instant and get rid of this one. And I had to spend 3 suns in order to take that action. Ranger Ron is going to move his front hiker 2. 1, 2, so that will move him to the end of the trail. And he's going to take the highest card showing. So this is 2 victory points, 2 victory points, 3 victory points. He will remove that weather token because he does not collect them. He will take that, and then we will gain another one. I'm going to go here. I'm going to forego the campsite action. I'm going to take this water, and I'm going to take a forest. Ranger Ron is going to move his front hiker 3. Well, he only has 1 hiker left, so 1, 2, 3, and that will be the end of his turn. I will go ahead and move. I'm going to visit a park, and I'm going to spend a forest, a water, and 2 resources or a wild. I'm going to gain that park. So I get the weather token on it. And that is an instant, so I get a wild resource. Ooh, I want this one. 4 points, takes 3 forests, 2 suns. Ranger Ron is going to move his back hiker 2. 1, 2. That'll be the end of his turn. So I need some forest and I need some suns. So let's go ahead and go here to the wildlife spot and change in this sun for a wild. Autumn is going to go. His hiker is going to move 2, and he's going to collect a photo since he already has the camera. So 1, 2, another photo. I'm lagging behind there. I'm going to go to the valley and get 2 suns. And hopefully he does not end his turn this turn. He's going to move up 2, get a wild resource, and that's going to put him at the end of the trail. So he's going to collect the middle. Okay, that's perfect. It's only worth 2 points. And there's a weather token on it, so he will simply discard it. And then I have to go to the end of the trail. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I can afford it. Yeah, so I'm going to visit a park. I'm going to spend 2 suns and 1 wild, 2 wild, and a forest to get the Capitol Reef National Park. Perfect. And then I will go ahead and refresh for the 4th and final season. And I'll see you back here in a moment. All right, back with round number 4. I am still the first player. So I'm going to go to this forest location. I'm going to gain a sun and a forest. Just as an FYI, parks cost 1 less sun to visit. So this one you can get for only 3 resources, but the other 2 are full price. The automa will go. The back hiker will move 2, and he will get another picture. So he'll move 2. He'll get another photo to add to his photo album. And for the campsite action, since he landed on a space with a campsite, he's going to go to the middle campsite and take another photo. So take this off. This is left, middle, right. So he'll go here, blocking that space, and he will gain another photo. He's crushing me with those photos. I will move here, gain this water, and with that water, I'm going to place it here to trade in 2 of these. So I will trade in up to 2. One of these for a mountain, and then I did that using my canteen, and I'm going to trade in this forest for a wild due to this wildlife icon. Ranger Ron is going to move his back hiker 1, and he's going to take a picture. His back hiker will move 1, and he will take another picture. My front hiker will move here to take a sun and a mountain. Ranger Ron his back hiker will move 2, and he'll gain a wild. So this is his back hiker, 1, 2. He'll discard this, and he'll gain a wild. I will go here to the ocean to gain a water and 2 more water. Ranger Ron will move his front hiker 3. 1, 2, 3. And he will place the tint on the campsite board, and collect the highest gear card. So I'll go here, and the highest is 2, 2, 2, so he'll take the left one. We will refill this. I think I'm going to go ahead and visit a park. I'm going to visit the Bryce Canyon National Park for a forest or a wild and 3 mountains. Grab another one, get an instant, okay. Ranger Ron is going to move his back hiker 1 and gain a wild. So move that 1 and gain another wild. I'm going to move here and gain the sun. And I will go ahead and draw a canteen, so I could spend a water to get a forest. Automa is going to move his front hiker 2. 1, 2. I'm going to go to this park's action by spinning my campfire, and I'm going to spend 1, 2 water plus 3 resources to get this Glacier National Park. And when I do that, I will gain the camera. The AI is going to move the front hiker 3, which will put him at the end of the trail, and it's going to collect the rightmost card, 4-pointer. So parks cost 1 less to visit, 1 less sunshine to visit. So I could possibly get that one. So let's go here to this forest. I just need a mountain and a sun, and both of those spots are still available. He's going to move 2, 1, 2, get rid of this sun from me. I will go ahead and move here to get 3 sun. I just need a mountain. His hiker is going to move 3. 1, 2, 3. Of course, he blocks the mountain space from me. Come on. And I can't just hover. Are you serious? Okay. So let's move here to get 2 ocean, 2 water. And then he will move 1, get a resource, wild resource. He'll move 1, so he can't finish with me, and so he'll go to the end of the trailhead and visit a park, and he will gain the highest park showing. So 2, 3, 3. He's going to take this 3 since it's the leftmost. Maybe a good one will show up for me. Just a mountain short. Alright, so now I have to go to the end of the trail. I do have the first player marker, so he won't score points for that at the end of the game. So I will go there. I will spend 2 waters and 2 other resources to get the Indiana Dunes National Park, and for an instant I can trade in a forest for a picture, which I will do. And then now, since it's the end of the season, I'm going to trade in a resource to take another picture since I actually have the camera. So now we need to tally up scores, and I'll be right back. All right, so Ranger Ron was victorious in this by a final score of 43 to 40. For parks, I had 25, he had 26. For photos, he had 9 to my 4. For year cards, I had 10, but he only had 4. For the first player marker, I had 1, but he didn't have the first player marker, so he got 0. For the AI tokens, he had 9, and on normal difficulty, he gets 1 point for every 2 tokens, so he gets 4 points for that. So the total is Ranger Ron 43, me 40. That is how you play a game of Parks Nightfall with the Ranger Ron 2.0 variant on normal difficulty. I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you on my next solo automa. Thanks for watching.